the silver nanoparticles instantly into the bloodstream. With continued legislation threatening the sale of nano-silver products, you can now produce pure and endless colloidal silver with the Silver Lungs generator. Very easy to follow, step-by-step instructions are provided, making production fast and simple. Go to www.silverlungs.com today and learn more about the breakthrough technology of the Silver Lungs generator. That's www.silverlungs.com. Alex Jones back live here. Director Joel Gilbert joins us. Joel just began to investigate Obama himself and ran into this information, and it turned out separately other investigators had actually talked about this 3 years ago, and it had been on national news. Joel separately discovered people talked about Frank Marshall Davis being his father. Let me tell you, the voice, everything, spitting image, he writes about him almost more than his mother in his book. You've got to see the film Dreams of My Real Father, available at InfoWarsShop.com or InfoWars.com or PrisonPlanet.com will get you there. Because when I was first told about this, I don't know, like 3 months ago by Dr. Corsi, because, Corsi's just like, we don't know who he is. We know the official story is not true. I was like, okay, well, yeah, let me see the film. So I got one early. And I was like, wow, this is really convincing. This really makes sense. I'd say I'm about 95% convinced by the film. Everybody I know that sees it just says, oh, my gosh. I mean, you got to see it, all the comparisons, the photos. They visit the house where Frank Marshall Davis lived, where Obama went every week. I mean, this is his daddy. And then you understand why his wife said he was born in Kenya in multiple speeches even 4 years ago. There's video of that. Just pull up. Michelle Obama says he was born in Kenya. And it's put out in all his literature and all of his PR things. Hundreds of publications. And we're like, hey, you say you're born in Kenya. We know these birth certificates are fake. And then but your dad doesn't look anything like you. And the State Department said it wasn't your dad and kicked him out. And you got a dead person's Social Security number. And, they said he wasn't named Barry Soetoro, but turned out he was. And now they make a joke out of it. It turns out most of the stuff in the book isn't true. And then you got all these weird CIA people. I want to go to calls, but first find out the latest, backlash, whatever's, happened to you, Joel, since you were on with us a few weeks ago on the nightly news and a few months ago on the radio. But today's the official release date of Dreams of My Father's. Dreams of My... I'm thinking of the book that you then researched for, Dreams of My Real Father. But Aaron Dykes, who's host of the nightly news here and researcher, he agrees with your analysis that their enforcer level is a communist brigade model, and they are communist. But above that is all the mega-rich foundations and ultra-wealthy funding it. I've asked you this question, but Aaron, you can just rattle off all the foundation names. Aaron Dykes, pose your question to Joel Gilbert here, and then we'll get his take on that. Go ahead, Aaron.
Right. Hi, Joel. Yeah, first I found your film gripping, of course, and everything, but I was wondering, obviously Hillary's an Alinskyite, but at this point the Clinton family's very much on the globalist agenda stage, not trapped within a communist thing. And it's the same deal with the Ayers connections. You've got Bill Ayers, a very, Weather Underground, very violent group, part of like almost a proto-Occupy Wall Street. But then conversely, his father is a mega-rich, foundation-funded. He sits on, 10, 15 boards in Chicago. He's on the Searle board, which is what Monsanto became, later merged.
Yeah, they're anti-free market. They want monopolies.
Right. I was just wondering on his take on the larger agenda beyond kind of the glass ceiling of communism.
Yeah, we've found, as the book None Dare Call a Conspiracy shows, there is a mega-crony capitalist anti-free market group. Well, Carol Quigley wrote about this.
Okay, let me answer. I can tell you that the style of the socialists and communists is to use anyone and everyone that they can to achieve power. Frank Marshall Davis, Obama's real father, was in charge of bringing blacks into the communist movement in Chicago in the 1930s. Now, he ultimately failed because the blacks were religious people and communism was atheist. Obama goes back to Chicago, follows in his father's footsteps in reverse some years later from Hawaii to Chicago, and he has much more success in recruiting black people to the socialist movement, to ACORN and all the affiliated movements. I can tell you that the communists consider minorities, blacks, Hispanics, rich people, oligarchs, the middle class, simply as pawns that will be discarded once they achieve power.
No, I know. I understand that. Why do the mega rich, in so many cases, fund communists?
I think that they think they can control them and they won't be able to cut off their funding at any point. But I think their interests will ultimately collide and those two groups will eventually part. And I even have new information on Obama that we came out with just last week. I think we sent it in, that we actually discovered on Obama's own Facebook page. He has a picture of him at 12 years old with his mother, grandfather, and half-sister, and we see the hand of Frank Marshall Davis, a black man's hand attached to Ann Dunham. Obviously a Photoshop forgery.
Now, this is incredibly bad. Why are always the forgeries so bad?
I think it's because if you're the President of the United States, you can't put an ad in the Washington Post or on Craigslist that says, if you need, I need a forger, please contact 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. You have to rely on someone very, very close to you that would never testify against you. It has to be literally a close person or family member who happens to know a little Photoshop. So that's why I believe he's stuck making bad forgeries. And if you look on Obama's Facebook page or on my website, obamasrealfather.com, you can see an obvious forgery from Obama where he's doing a pattern, what I say is a pattern of document forgery to hide the role.
Yeah, we've got the new video. We're rolling it right now. In fact, I'm going to have, guys, ask Kurt Nemo, please, to post this in the tiles at INFOWARS.com right now. Thank you so much. You're absolutely right. I mean, this is just crazy. But undoubtedly, from your own research, there are the mega rich funding communism, and what they want is a world monopoly where the globalists are exempt from the laws, but within the country, they squeeze and destroy the middle class.
I think the middle class has always been a target of the communists all the way back to Bill Ayers and the Weather Underground. They hated the middle class, and Obama's lie of his campaign is to say that he wants to help middle class families. In fact, socialist economies don't have a middle class. They just have one lower class. All these policies, health care, wealth redistribution, it's all about eliminating the upper and middle class to create a massive lower class with political elites that control the wealth and control the government. We've seen it a million times in Europe, in Russia.
No, it creates hell on earth. Larry Graffwald, as you know, you're speaking at a conference with him very soon. He was on about a week and a half ago with us, and we were playing the clips of where they were talking about how they were going to put 100 million in camps, kill 25 million, and licking their lips. I mean, mainly these are a bunch of just gibbering, demonic, psychopath control freaks.
And the disturbing part is, no matter how much good information we put out, I put out this film as a cohesive understanding of Obama's life history from his tutelage from his real father, Frank Marshall Davis, through his relationship with Bill Ayers and the Ayers family. And we can't get the media to cover it. So I told you a couple weeks ago that I was going to announce a way to reach everybody in America since they would not cover this important story. So now I'm going to tell you what it is. We are mailing, we've secured funding to mail, starting, it's already in the process, starting 2 weeks from today, we're going to mail a free copy of a couple 100,000 DVDs to addresses in Ohio and Virginia. That's starting in a few weeks. And from there, we're going to expand across all the United States as much as we can, depending on the funding we get. And that way, there'll be a grassroots knowledge of this story. People can really see what Obama's real deadly Marxist agenda is for America and how it will really affect the middle class. And it's nothing about helping them. It's about eliminating them.
Hey, what about mailing 10,000 to Congress? That would be effective as well.
Well, I was on Capitol Hill last week, and I dropped several copies amongst sympathetic, hopefully, members of Congress. But generally, they're afraid to talk about it. A lot of the mainstream media say, we've seen the film, we agree with you, this is shocking, this is blockbuster, but we're afraid, And I said, look, we're going to send out hundreds of thousands of copies. And they said, well, once people talk about it more, then maybe we can talk about it. So I appreciate you, Alex, that you're unafraid.
Well, it is important for people to hit the barbed wire first so others can follow the trailblazers like yourself. And, you know, more and more the media is starting to report on a lot of the things that are happening, like Fast and Furious and other areas. But, you know, the fact is Obama has been caught lying about his past a bunch, so no one can then criticize us if we start investigating it deeper. I want to go to some phone calls, but I wanted to ask you, what else has come out new other than the doctored photos you found on their Facebook on Barry Soetoro, a.k.a. Barack Obama, whatever his real name is, I guess Barack Hussein Davis. I mean, President Davis, what else have you learned? What type of backlash have you experienced?
I haven't gotten much backlash because mainstream media wants to ignore me, though Media Matters has written a couple of nasty articles the last few days.
Nobody reads George Soros' publication, yeah.
Yeah, I did receive hundreds of emails from concerned Americans. One was very touching. It was from a Vietnam veteran. He said to me, "We're on the verge of losing the Constitution. Freedom and liberty are in jeopardy." As a Vietnam veteran, I ask, what did I fight for? That's what he emailed me. So I'm very encouraged by a number of people that have written in and said, can you please share this with millions so we can get the message out about what's really happening to the government and what Obama's real political foundation is. I think I've proven in my film that his political foundation is in a Stalinist version of Marxism, and that's why he showed up admittedly at Occidental College at 18 years old as a committed revolutionary Marxist, in his own words, and he's been pursuing the dreams from his real father, Frank Marshall Davis, his entire life.
Now, it's great to mail this out to 200,000 people in key states to get coverage, but if people want to air this on Access TV, I guess they just email you to get permission?
Correct.
Okay. Let's go to some calls. Most of them are for you, Joe, Colin, Jesse, Mark, and others. But Corey's been holding since the last hour, or the start of this hour, from Colorado on the shooting. Let's get his take real quick on that event. Very fortuitous for Obama. We have top Obama advisors, not one, not two, not three, but four, in an article titled "Democratic Operatives Urge Obama to Seize on Attacks." That's a good headline by Paul Watson, Alex Jones, but I think I may change the headline to "Democratic Operatives, tell Obama attacks will help him," or something like that, because that's really what it says. It's amazing information. I'm now talking to journalists. I've been blamed by Tom Hartman, basically, that it's my fault things are happening, and I guess wherever they're on the radio. And then I guess I've also, Rush Limbaugh's been blamed, by NBC. They said, talk show hosts like that. And they harken back to Clinton after Oklahoma City blaming people. So this is a very, very dangerous situation. Corey in Colorado, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Hi, Alex. I've been a fan of yours for about 8 or 9 years. I've bought all your videos.
Well, thank you.
I wanted to tell you something that I think is kind of important. Years ago in that tech shooting, you were gone that day, and I drove home, saw the flags were half-staffed, and I came to my office, I turned your show on, and the other gentleman was there, and you were gone, and they put us on the air live, and those kids, as you know, were being shot at. They were listening to your show. We were telling them to run from the black ops, that they were not there to protect them, and at that particular time, I was a personal friend with a black op. He was running for his life because he left the black ops, and they wanted him to go do a mission, and he refused to do it. So he was in hiding. He was calling me from all over the country and all over the world in hiding. But right after that tech shooting, and I was on live on the air on your show exposing that, within 45 days, a black op helicopter came over to my house and flew right above my house, and I could see the pilot's face.
Well, ma'am, a lot of that is they fly around with infrared cameras in grids looking for marijuana growing, and it's wrong to have the Department of Defense doing that. But just because a helicopter flies over your house does not mean they're coming to get you. But I appreciate your call. Let's go ahead and talk to now the first caller holding, listening on 90.1 FM in Austin, Texas. Mark, you're on the air with the director of Dreams of My Real Father, Joel Gilbert. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Well, Joel, let me tell you that I ordered your movie through INFOWARSstore.com or what have you with the address, and I loved it. It was perfect. Did a very great job, and I felt like a fat kid trapped in a cake factory, you know what I mean? It was just one of those things where I couldn't stop watching, and I've been working for years on getting my fiance to wake up, and she finally woke up after this movie.
Yeah, it's chillingly convincing, to quote my dad, because my dad came over and got one like a month ago when we first started selling it, early before it even came out officially. And he said, I want to see this. And I saw him a few days later. He was out visiting with his grandchildren. And I said, well, what'd you think of it? He says, chillingly convincing. And I said, ooh, that's a good quote, chillingly convincing. Do you have any questions for Joel Gilbert?
Yeah, one thing about the whole fake documents issue, I think you're just being a tad bit naive on that, because even the most corrupt president always has very expert, Photoshop people at his disposal. I think the reason they're doing that is because, and Alex, I'd like your comments on this after I ask, I'll hang up and listen, but I think that he's doing it because of the whole, we have to show you what we're doing before we do it to you issue. Everything has to be laid out. You have to have signed off on all of it, and they're just making it obvious, and they're rubbing it in our faces.
Well, I don't agree. I think it's very hard to forge documents and keep the loyalty of a person who would go to jail for forgery. That has to be someone very close to you. So I wouldn't think it's any more complicated than simply Obama puts out these documents like the mysterious hand of Frank Marshall Davis that they accidentally left in the photo with Ann Dunham, who they photoshopped in. So I think it's a pattern of document forgery to hide Frank Marshall Davis by amateurs.
Well, Joel, let me raise this point. I've talked to a lot of retired, pretty famous intelligence operatives. One of them's Dr. Steve Pachinik, and he said, you don't have to worry too much about them killing you, though you've exposed this bin Laden hoax. So he said they might come after you for that, because he said he got a lot of current and former British MI6, Mossad, and U.S. intelligence called up, basically, getting in his face about it when he came on and said that whole thing was fake. He said it years ago on the show and said they would do it later. But the point is he explained they like to get big committees in NATO and the UN to agree. So everyone votes, and then everybody has plausible deniability for murders and crimes. That's why Obama wants this authorization to kill U.S. citizens from Congress secretly. He can then say, well, I have a law, NDAA. And so there's a lot of paperwork involved. You don't just go to one of these, sure, they'll create fake documents for agents to infiltrate countries, but when it's the president, the blackmail power of that, and especially when you're not trusted in agencies of government, because there's a lot of good people in there, you've got to go to your wife. You've got to, I know Corsi thinks he knows who's doing it. Do you guys have any idea? Because Corsi hasn't said so far.
I haven't been researching that. I know that the sheriff's office in Phoenix has a person of interest as to who's been forging these documents. But it's been a pattern of forgery, a pattern of intimidation that I see by Obama, intimidating the Supreme Court, trying to engage in all kinds of anti-democratic behavior that's typical of the Marxist worldview to impose a type of Stalinist Marxist agenda upon the middle class.
You mean in North Korea in heaven?
North Korea, East Germany, this is what...
Because, wait a minute. I'm going to challenge you. Obama said if you have a business, you didn't build it. You didn't make your film, Joel, and I'm not doing this radio show. The government's doing this show right now. Of course, we shouldn't joke. They've got EAS taking over radio more and more. Thank God for government. Hi, this is Alex Jones. Did you know that the global elite are now storing non-hybrid seeds in secret storage vaults near the Arctic Circle? Did you know that in a real meltdown, non-hybrid seeds can become more valuable than silver or gold? It's true, seeds have outperformed even gold and silver before in this country, and it's possible that could even happen again. So our friends at Solutions from Science have put together the perfect mix of non-hybrid seeds. They call it a survival seed bank, and it can produce an endless supply of nutrient-dense food for you and your family. And here's the best part. These seeds have not been genetically modified in any way, and you actually get enough seeds to plant a full-acre crisis garden. So visit them today at survivalseedbank.com. That's survivalseedbank.com, or give them a call at 877-327-0365. That's 877-327-0365. Remember, in a real crisis, non-hybrid seeds are the ultimate barter item. This is Alex Jones for survivalseedbank.com.
Hi there. My name is Frank Bates. What I'm about to tell you in the next 60 seconds could get me in a lot of trouble. I just created a free video presentation at 123coverup.com that exposes the electricity monopolies and government agencies for what they really are, incompetent, lying crooks that are counting on your ignorance and fear to keep your power bills criminally high. Some have called this a conspiracy. Others have called it a cover-up, and you will be shocked to find out how deep the conspiracy goes. My video at 123coverup.com exposes the truth and shows you the secret of how I beat them and how you can beat them too. Watch the controversial video that thousands of other smart patriots have already seen in the last 3 months. Go to 123coverup.com and discover one weird trick to slash your power bill and protect your home. Go watch my video now at 123coverup.com before they force me to shut it down. Again, that's 123coverup.com.
Let's keep preparedness simple. Do you need stuff for disasters? Of course you do. For over 15 years, disasterstuff.com has, well, stuff for disasters. See? Easy to remember. Disasterstuff.com. Want free shipping on a new Berkey water filter? Disasterstuff.com is the official Berkey in-stock shipping center. Lots of folks want an EMP Faraday bag to protect sensitive electronics during a solar or nuclear event. Now, for a limited time, all survival gear purchases over $75 include a free 8x8-inch EMP Faraday bag. Just enter promo code EMPBAG when you check out at disasterstuff.com. We're also a Country Living Grain Mill authorized dealer. Plus, we offer freeze-dried foods by Alpine Air and Wise Foods. We also carry emergency kits, survival seeds, and much more. Preparedness should be simple, and it is. Just remember, disasterstuff.com. Freedom through self-reliance and personal responsibility.
The Genesis Communications Radio Network proudly presents The Alex Jones Show, because there's a war on for your mind.
Joel Gilbert is our guest. Joel, the way Mitt Romney's acting when Obama calls him a criminal, Romney doesn't respond with, hey, you ran fast and furious. Romney is just floundering around. People say, well, he's the lesser of two evils. More and more, I think Romney may be a ringer. If not consciously, his handlers are. Now Rupert Murdoch is endorsing gun control. So is Bill Kristol. So now if I'm not for turning my guns in, I'm a liberal now. I mean, in the new world, you're a liberal if you're not for communism. You're a good conservative if you're for turning your guns in.
Well, it's amazing how you talk about Rupert Murdoch. I had my run-in with Newsmax.com. So some of these news outlets that we think are conservative and we look to them to shed some light on things are kind of capitulating to the Obama, David Axelrod agenda out of some kind of fear. Newsmax pulled my ad campaign. I had paid for a banner ad campaign when my film first came out. They pulled it right 5 minutes before it ran, and I said, why did you pull the ad? They said, well, we're trying to move to the center. So the amount of fear out there is just incredible, and the capitulation to the agenda that Obama and Axelrod are setting is just mind-boggling. I visited Russia 25 years ago when I was a student. I visited families of the refuseniks that were trying to leave Russia for 1 week. It was an amazing experience. You would see how there was no food in the stores. I would ask people, how come there's no food? How come there's nothing to buy in the stores? And they would say, well, in communism, you have to be at work 8 hours a day, but you don't have to actually work. You just have to be at work. So I saw the economic disaster, the physical disaster.
The heavenly. Come on, are you a conspiracy theorist? Are you about to tell me that North Korea isn't the heaven of earth?
This was no socialist utopia. This was hell on earth, was Marxism and communism, and I experienced it, and everybody was afraid to talk. I would ask questions. They'd say, well, we have to go over here. We can't talk in public. I am just very disturbed that...
Well, you got to have a permit to talk in public. Come on.
Well, this is what's happening here. The media is afraid to talk. I'm just shocked at the parallel to what I saw in communist Russia in the 80s when I was there for a week.
Well, you're just a bad person. You don't recognize freedom when you see it. Let's talk to Jesse in New Orleans. You're on the air with an extremist who doesn't like Stalin. Welcome, Jesse.
How's How's it going, Alex?
Good.
I've called you a lot in the past, and it always seems to be about something that's big going on, and it just so happens Obama is going to be coming down here to New Orleans tomorrow or tonight, and his entourage is staying at our hotels. He's going to be at the Lowe's, and I'm trying to get together a group of people to go down there and bullhorn him about the UN weapons ban treaty. And,
well, you know, if somebody makes a bet at that hotel, they didn't do it. Or if somebody fries an egg for the president, they didn't fry it. Government did it. You're going to be near the fount of creation today. Are you preparing to bow?
Oh, I've got my knee pads ready for the groveling.
Well, you're talking to the guy that makes it all happen there. I tell you, the grass is going to grow faster when he's in town. So what time are you planning on talking badly with the bullhorn to our gracious leader?
I was hoping to get together probably around 6 o'clock. I'm not really sure right now because I just got all the information together about where he was going to be. But I'm trying to get all my friends together, and I just posted it on Planet InfoWars to try and get some more people to join us.
Good. What's the name of your group at planetinfowars.com?
InfoWars NOLA.
InfoWars NOLA?
OLA.
All right, fantastic.
You are listening to GCN. Visit GCNlive.com today.
Sick of the globalist eugenicist control freaks adding poison to your water and laughing as you get sick and die? Start purifying your water with ProPure. My friends, I've done a lot of research, and the best gravity filter out there, bar none, is ProPure, and it's available discounted at INFOWARS.com. Its filters are silver impregnated to prevent bacterial growth. There's no priming required. It's NSF 42 certified. Optional fluoride filters can reduce fluoride up to 95%. Easy to set up and use. Doesn't require electricity. Purify water from lakes, streams, ponds, and wells. This filter system leaves in beneficial minerals, which is key. Save money by not buying bottled water and avoid BPA that leaches from the plastic. ProPure is the best gravity-fed filter out there. It's what my family uses. Infowars.com already has the lowest price on ProPure. But if you add the promo code WATER at checkout, you get an additional 10% off at Infowars.com. You can also call to order 888-253-3139.
Waging war on corruption.
3139.
Waging war on corruption. Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. Big Brother, mainstream media, government cover-ups. You want answers? Well, so does he. He's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. And now, live from Austin, Texas, Alex Jones.
By the way, coming up in the next segment, it's up at Infowars.com. Shooter James Holmes didn't build his supposed theater attack. Obama did. And in this case, it's actually true. He built it with unemployment checks and welfare, $20,000 of body armor and all the rest of it. Of course, the guy can't talk. His mother says she didn't say what she said, but let's just believe the official story of the former intelligence chief of Mayor Bloomberg, who's sworn to get our guns, who's the police chief out there, who in his first press conference says, don't question their official story. Well, there you have it. It's official. Joel Gilbert, let's continue with some more calls. Colin in Texas, you're on the air. Thanks for holding.
Hey, Alex, no problem. I just wanted a quick comment before I ask my question for Mr. Gilbert. You should put a picture of Obama looking at that Ronald McDonald killer saying you didn't do that, government did that. That would be funny. But my question for Joe Gilbert over here, I'm an info warrior down here in Texas. I always try to talk to everyone I know about real issues and real things, and most of them are sheeple, and, you know, they don't want to listen to anything, especially about the birther stuff. So if I could get one fact that is shocking and maybe easily verifiable by Googling it from you that all the info warriors out there could use, that'd be great.
Okay, I'd like to tell you that there's one quick factoid that would help the cause, but you have to remember that Obama spent 4, 5, 6 years creating this false identity as the son of a Kenyan goat herder, and he would then bring people together because he multicultural ideal. So you've got to have them buy and watch the film because it puts it all together in a cohesive way where they can understand that Obama's real father was this Communist Party USA propagandist and Soviet agent, Frank Marshall Davis. He's the man who also raised him, his ideological father, and everything falls into place once you see how it works.
Thank you. Let's jump to the next caller. Joe in North Carolina, you're on the air with an evil person engaged in the First Amendment.
Could be, man. Could be. Who knows? Hey, Alex, quick question for you. How many mass shootings has occurred since 2008, since he actually took office, till now? Does anybody know? Quite a few, or?
There's been less than 10 big ones, but about 6 or 7 big ones if memory serves, and a lot of gangland stuff that's real. But there's been some real Prozac heads that, you know, go and shoot 5, 6, 7 people. Why do you ask that question?
Or is it that kind of out of the ordinary for, you know, in a particular term for a guy who's knowingly against the Second Amendment?
What, are you next going to say he shipped guns to Mexico to blame the Second Amendment? Now, you're really a conspiracy theorist. Even though that's admitted, it still doesn't exist.
Yeah, true. I was just wondering if we had the numbers on that. And
we need to look that up. Do you have a quick question for Joel Gilbert?
Joel, you're doing a good job. I haven't seen your movie, but I'll be sure to go in and take a look at it.
Thank you so much. Yeah, folks, look, it takes money to run this operation, a lot of money. I mean, a lot of money for me. Certainly not George Soros, who gets banker bailout money and then funds MSNBC and all these other attack groups. But it takes $4.5 million a year to run InfoWars. I've got close to 45 employees, crew members, contractors now. We're really trying to launch and reach even more people with this platform. So it takes a lot of DVDs to get there. Well, it isn't just DVDs. It's advertisement. It's a bunch of things. It's memberships of PrisonPlanet.tv. We are pumping a lot of money into this operation. So buy the film. You support us. You support Joel Gilbert. Buy all the products. It's all stuff I believe in. You know, the Pro Pure water filters, InfoWarsShop.com. Joel Gilbert, we'll talk to you again soon. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Alex.
All right, there he goes. We're going to come back and get another amazing guest on to look at forms of government persecution. And then we're going to continue with news looking at all of this. But if anybody thinks Mitt Romney's going to save them, they're crazy. Just like I told you, Obama isn't going to save you with Bush. Okay? They're bought and paid for.
Hi, this is Alex Jones. Did you know that the global elite are now storing non-hybrid seeds in secret storage vaults near the Arctic Circle? Did you know that in a real meltdown, non-hybrid seeds can become more valuable than silver or gold? It's true, seeds have outperformed even gold and silver before in this country, and it's possible that could even happen again. So our friends at Solutions from Science have put together the perfect mix of non-hybrid seeds. They call it a survival seed bank, and it can produce an endless supply of nutrient-dense food for you and your family. And here's the best part. These seeds have not been genetically modified in any way, and you actually get enough seeds to plant a full-acre crisis garden. So visit them today at survivalseedbank.com. That's survivalseedbank.com, or give them a call at 877-327-0365. That's 877-327-0365. Remember, in a real crisis, non-hybrid seeds are the ultimate barter item. This is Alex Jones for survivalseedbank.com.
Let me ask you a question. What does freedom mean to you? The freedom to choose, the freedom to vote, the freedom to worship. How about the freedom to take control of your own future? My friends at eFoods Direct are celebrating freedom this month while helping you take control of your greatest dependency, food. Right now, you receive one of their new Patriot Packs free with every $289 you spend on their highly nutritious and great-tasting food. The Patriot Pack is a 30-day supply of eFoods quick fix, easy-to-store food. For example, purchase a 1-year supply and get 5 Patriot Packs, which is 5 months of food free. Use the extra food for everyday use and save hundreds off your grocery bill. Give your free Patriot Pack as a gift to a friend or relative, or simply add more food to your long-term supply for free. Call 800-409-5633 or go to efoodsdirect.com/Alex and get your free Patriot Pack with purchase. Operators are standing by. Call 800-409-5633 or efoodsdirect.com/Alex. eFoods is so affordable. The more you store and eat, the more you save. Go to efoodsdirect.com/Alex or call 800-409-5633 right now.
American gardeners and fellow patriots, make the right choice with your money, time, and your family food supply. Choose 100% pure heirloom seeds in the Survival Seed Vault from MyPatriotSupply.com. Why spend more? The Survival Seed Vault from MyPatriotSupply.com is only $37.95 and includes 20 varieties of pure, hardy, easy-to-grow heirloom seeds. Yes, only $37.95. That's 70% less than our competitors. You could buy 3 Survival Seed Vaults for less than one of theirs. The Survival Seed Vault from MyPatriotSupply.com includes detailed planting and seed-saving instructions and ships same day. Plus, all orders over $49 ship free. MyPatriotSupply.com is American-owned by patriots like you, passionate about freedom and preparedness. Call now, 866-229-0927. That's 866-229-0927. Or discover more emergency preparedness items when you order at MyPatriotSupply.com. Choose the original. Choose the Survival Seed Vault at MyPatriotSupply.com.
He's the T-Rex of political talk. Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network.
Now, we had Joel Gilbert on earlier, filmmaker, and every time, and I'm trying to basically inform him from my perspective, every time we bring up the fact that rich ultra elites are actually funding communism and socialism, not to empower people, but to get control of them, and that it's really a form of crony monopoly capitalism. I mean, Carol Quigley wrote books about it. All the globalists have talked about it, and when I bring it up, people just don't get it. And Aaron brought in this article about Thomas G. Ayers, you know, the father of Bill Ayers, and it says, CEO chairman of Commonwealth Edison, board of directors, G.D. Searle, super evil company, Zenith Corporation, General Dynamics Corp., First National Bank of Chicago. It just goes on, and it's the same with all these people. And look at how you had Romney and Bush, then we're going to our guest, coming out of the very same companies, and you've got Bain Capital funding Obama, and you've got, at the same time, back in 2004, you've got the same people who are members of Skull and Bones, this Illuminati death cult on record. You've got Kerry and George W. Bush, who are cousins. And now if you look at Romney and Obama when it comes to actions and who owns them, it's the same people. It's Obamney 2012. Or Robomney. And it's just so frustrating to realize so much of the public is living in fantasy land. Now, I really wanted to get him on because I heard him on the radio a few years ago, or heard a YouTube video of audio where he was on a radio show, to be technical. Larry Pinckney is a veteran of the Black Panther Party, the former Minister of the Interior of the Republic of New Africa, a former political prisoner, and the only American to have successfully self-authored his civil political rights case, the United Nations under the International Covenant of Civil and Political Rights. And it goes on, in connection with his political organizing activities in opposition to voter suppression. Pinckney was interviewed in '88 on the national television PBS NewsHour, formerly known as the McNeil Lehrer NewsHour. He's been all over TV, radio, you name it. He is an editorial board member of blackcommentator.com, and you can find out more by reading his book, Saying No to Power, Autobiography of a 20th Century Activist and Thinker, William Mandel. But the point here is that I wanted to get him on to talk about COINTELPRO, because this stuff still goes on, but now the Department of Defense is involved. They've got fake bloggers. They call them robots, not just real people, but robots that go out and attack people. And they attack the left, the right, libertarians, conservatives, Christians, Buddhists, Muslims. They always beta test on a group that's unpopular, like Muslims. But really, the whole thing, if you look at it, is while they've got all the good old boys with the John Deere hats hating the Muslims and ready to give up their rights, actually, you get the government documents, it's all demonizing the good old boys. There's a global corporate takeover of this country. They brag they've done it. And it's very, very dangerous. And we need to understand the types of tactics, because when I've heard Mr. Pinckney on the radio talk about some of the stuff he went through or the things he witnessed, I've had similar things done to me. Some, just the classic stuff. lies put out. My wife called, women calling up saying they're pregnant, or that I gave them a disease, just standard stuff that came out of COINTELPRO. And this was documented. State of Texas had a big COINTELPRO operation that got shut down in, 1980? But it's also death threats, people breaking in your house, people, trying to intimidate you, trying to get you fired. A lot of this goes on, and it's totally illegal. Kind of like the NSA spying on us is illegal. And Larry Pinckney joins us. Larry, thanks for coming on the show today.
Alex, it's a distinct pleasure and an honor to be with you today on the show. Thank you.
Well, you've heard my little rant there. Tell us about yourself, your awakening, and the process of what you witnessed.
Well, the bottom line is this. I want to jump right in. Well, I'll tell you a little bit about me. You've said it all, really. I'm a veteran of the Black Panther Party, former regional minister of Interior for the Republic of New Africa. I write I'm an editorial board member with Black Commentator, blackcommentator.com, and associate editor with intrepidreport.com. But more important than any of that, I continue to fight for the human rights of all the people. And I began right here at home in the United States of America, or the so-called United States. I'm beginning to wonder how united we actually are. But anyway, let me say that the experiences that I have had personally as a political prisoner for 10 years, having been set up and framed viciously, and I'm not the only one, there are thousands. And by the way, let me make a point, my brother Alex, let me make a point. This covers people of all colors. I repeat, this covers people of all colors. We are all targets. The intent of COINTELPRO is to, and I quote, out directly from U.S. congressional records, I quote, to frame, to murder, to set up, to imprison political activists, anyone who dissents the policies of the United States government. Now, somehow, that strikes me as going contrary to the United States Constitution and to the Declaration of Independence. Somehow, that strikes me as being blatantly contrary. So I continue today, in the year of 2012, to struggle on behalf of all people, black, white, brown, red, yellow, all people, because we are all targets. And as you so correctly said, Alex, COINTELPRO goes on today. An example is the NDAA, the so-called National Defense Authorization Act, which Obama signed very quickly and quietly on December 31st, 2011, New Year's Eve, when nobody was paying attention, which act makes it, quote, legal to actually detain indefinitely whomever the government, and Obama is currently the chief of the government. He is commander-in-chief. But it makes it very clear that U.S. citizens in this country can be indefinitely detained without trial, without judge, without jury, without the right to legal defense. It is time for people to wake up, all people, and get out of la-la land. Get out of it, because we are in serious, serious trouble, Alex.
We are. For people that haven't gone through what you've gone through, and I've only gone through a little bit compared to what you've gone through, they don't understand. They don't want anybody getting organized, period, that the power structure doesn't control. And, looking at how the Black Panther Party started from my own layman research, wasn't it trying to get communities organized, soup kitchens, getting people off drugs, getting people, together, and then they come in, infiltrate it, destroy it. Because, I found out very early on, if I just tried to help do community things, nothing got the system after me like that than if I tried to stop them bulldozing a veterans home or something. The system is so scared of the people ever standing up in decent and wholesome ways because they know other people that are going to join it. So their job was infiltrate it, wreck it, provocateur it, and then change the perception of how the people saw the Black Panther Party. Is that correct?
You are right on. as we would say in the party. My brother, you are right on. You see, the name of the game was then and continues now to be to discredit. And the name of the game in terms of discrediting is to simply present people such as yourself, okay, who are seriously attempting to awaken people, to raise their consciousness, to get them to understand what dangers we are in. You and people like you are considered very dangerous. Indeed, you and myself and thousands of others in this country are considered dangerous, not because we have broken any law, not because we have done anything untoward, anything wrong. But then again, I suppose it is wrong for people to become conscious, for people to understand that in fact, the name of the game is to control. And you used that word earlier. I was listening to you. You used the word control. And that's what it's about. Divide, manipulate, control. Keep people at each other's throats so that we don't understand that we have common interests. And that's the name of the game. Whether it's presented by this Predator drone missile NDAA signing president who shredded the U.S. Constitution, Barack Obama, or whether it's by any other representative of a system that, quite frankly, and I hope I'm not out of line saying this, but any other representative, so-called representative of the people, because we're not represented by them, Democrats or Republicans, who dares to tell the truth. Telling the truth these days is subversive, my friend.
Wow. Larry Pinckney is our guest. We're going to go to break here, sir. I want to come back and tell your story there in the early days of the Black Panther Party, what it was, what they did to it, and tell people what you and others went through. And as you said, the congressional hearings, folks, you can pull them up on COINTELPRO from the 70s. What the church committee, there were others, I'm going from memory, he can correct me. But, I mean, it was killing people, getting other people to kill them, setting them up. I mean, just you name it. And people stood up to it, so they backed off for a while. But now the last decade or so, I mean, it is full on. And, folks, it's so bad. I just tried to cover a military drill once. I've told this story probably 50 times. Mike Hansen saw it. We're out there trying to cover a drill at night in Florida. And a guy just jumps out of the bushes, starts setting fires, and then blaming it on us. Turned out he was with the Army. I mean, folks, let me tell you, that means they feel pretty darn invincible if they'll do stuff like that. Let me ask you a question. What does freedom mean to you? The freedom to choose, the freedom to vote, the freedom to worship. How about the freedom to take control of your own future? My friends at eFoods Direct are celebrating freedom this month while helping you take control of your greatest dependency, food. Right now, you receive one of their new Patriot Packs free with every $289 you spend on their highly nutritious and great-tasting food. The Patriot Pack is a 30-day supply of eFoods quick fix, easy-to-store food. For example, purchase a 1-year supply and get 5 Patriot Packs, which is 5 months of food free. Use the extra food for everyday use and save hundreds off your grocery bill. Give your free Patriot Pack as a gift to a friend or relative, or simply add more food to your long-term supply for free. Call 800-409-5633 or go to efoodsdirect.com/Alex and get your free Patriot Pack with purchase. Operators are standing by. Call 800-409-5633 or efoodsdirect.com/Alex. eFoods is so affordable. The more you store and eat, the more you save. Go to efoodsdirect.com/Alex or call 800-409-5633 right now.
Hello, this is Ty Bollinger, author of the best-selling book, Cancer, Step Outside the Box. I want you to know some very important information. In 1985, President Ronald Reagan requested that Carnivora be sent directly to the White House at a time when only the president could obtain this world-class healer. Now, 27 years later, Carnivora capsules are used around the world to keep people healthy. Now you can protect yourself and your loved ones in this age of superbugs with 17 naturally occurring compounds that instinctively respond to abnormal cells only without harming a single normal cell. If you want to stay healthy, now's your chance to literally wake up your critical immune cells to attack harmful invaders that don't belong in your body. Call 1-866-VENUS-FLY or order from carnivora.com. That's carnivora.com. That's 1-866-836-8735, 1-866-VENUS-FLY, or visit carnivora.com. Protect your immune system. It's the only one you've got.
We take a lot for granted. Lights, water, even food we eat. But what if these things went away? Would you know how to protect your family in a natural or man-made disaster? Would you know how to survive? When disaster hits, power and water are gone and the mobs go crazy grabbing food off the shelves. You and your family may be waiting in long lines for help. Don't be helpless. Learn the secrets to survival at 123survivalplan.com. Do you know the 37 crucial food items you can't live without? Many people don't have these food items. Learn what you need to hoard at 123survivalplan.com. Recently, over 1 million people have viewed the video at 123survivalplan.com. These survival secrets are vital. The government suggests we maintain an emergency supply of food and water. But do you know the 37 food items that will fly off grocery shelves or a simple way to treat unsafe drinking water? This information is critical. Find it now on 123survivalplan.com. Don't take your family's safety for granted. Visit 123survivalplan.com. That's 123survivalplan.com.
Are you still a traditional smoker? Now experience a new lifestyle and try vaping with e-cigarettes by LeSig. Imagine no ashes, stains, nasty smell, or coughing and hacking. With LeSig e-cigarettes' revolutionary microelectronic technology, rechargeable battery, and unique replaceable cartridge, you'll get all the benefits and satisfaction of smoking without the hazards. Choose your taste from a wide variety of our new American-made vape-free e-liquids at LeSig.com. And LeSig smokes the competition by serving thousands of worldwide customers with real people customer service, fast, free, same-day shipping, and a 30-day warranty and satisfaction guarantee. So are you ready for a new vaping lifestyle? Then call 870-518-4307. That's 870-518-4307. Or visit LeSig.com, spelled LECIG.com. LeSig e-cigarettes for today's modern smoker.
This is a short segment, long segment coming up. Larry Pinkney, veteran from right there at the start, Black Panther Party member. Of course, the new Black Panther Party today is something completely different. From my view, a bunch of provocateurs. I mean, the stuff they're saying sounds like what you would say to discredit a group of people. But I understand getting angry and stuff. I mean, I'm sure I've done things before that aren't perfect. But when it's consistent, you can really see what's going on. Larry, you've got the floor of this little 6-minute segment. Describe your experiences. Tell us what the Black Panther Party was really founded for.
Black Panther Party, and thank you so much, Alex. The Black Panther Party was founded on what was a 10-point program. The 10-point program was essentially a very clear, distinct, and simple program that called for very specific things like clothing, medical care, jobs, schooling, i.e. education, etc. Very simple, very direct, and by the way, very threatening to the U.S. government. Isn't that amazing? The Black Panther Party, I personally was involved in a number of programs as a member of the party, including programs to serve the people with breakfast programs. And people sometimes have heard about the Black Panther Party's breakfast programs where we fed throughout this nation, especially children, but anyone. Didn't have to be a child. And by the way, didn't have to be black either. We fed food, good food, to folks who were hungry. You know what?
This was before the school lunch program.
Oh, way before the school lunch program. Yes, definitely. In fact, a number of the school lunch programs actually came about as a result of what the party had, we call it the party, what the party had done.
Yeah, I'd read that.
That's true. That is very accurate. Also, we had what was called free clinic, free medical programs. There's a book out that it's actually quite recent, Alex. I have it right here. The book is called Body and Soul. Body and Soul, the Black Panther Party and the Fight Against Medical Discrimination. Now, it's by Alondra, Alondra Nelson. I would urge folks of all colors and both genders read the book. Come to your own conclusion. It's well documented with original sources, okay? Now, as a Panther, as a member of the party, one of my first jobs, and I suppose that's because of how I speak, was I was sent to communicate with people of all colors, including, my brother, white folks, okay? Because I spoke, I suppose, in such a way that was considered to be very clear, very simple, and quote-unquote non-threatening. I spoke in a way and still speak in a way that is about the common interests of the people, the common interests. What do we have in common? Let's go for that. Let's struggle for that. As a result of my activities, and you can read about this, your listeners and viewers can read about it in a book entitled Saying No to Power, Saying No to Power by William M. Mandel, M-A-N-D-E-L, introduction by Howard Zinn, and just go to the book and you can read the details of some of the things that I did in the party. But as a result of what I did, I and many, many, many others were viciously set up. And when I say viciously, my brother, I pull no punches. I do mean viciously. There is no depth, D-E-P-T-H. There is no depth as to how low this government will go. And I say it in not only the past tense, but the present tense. Okay, and we need to be aware of that. Don't be paranoid, but be aware. Be conscious. Okay, as a reverend as a man that I knew who happened to be a reverend used to say to me, just because I'm paranoid doesn't mean it's not happening. Okay, and let's be aware of what's going on so that we can effectively organize collectively, i.e. together, against it. I'm very proud of the fact that I served the people body and soul, as did so many thousands of others in the party. There are many political prisoners today, to this very day, the year 2012, that still languish in U.S. prison gulags throughout this nation.
Well, we're going to go to break. 18-minute segment coming up, the longest segment of the hour. Larry Pinckney's our guest. When we come back, you're going to have some time because everything I read about and have talked to folks that was happening then, they're now hyping it back up, taking out a deep freeze. It was always still going on, but it seems like it's accelerating. So I personally want to know what to look for because I've been at the receiving end of some of this. Nothing compared to what you've received. We'll be right back.
We're on the march. The empire's on the run. Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
Alex Jones here with a very important announcement for truth seekers. We've carried a lot of amazing films and books over the years on the online video bookstore at INFOWARS.com. And out of all the titles we've carried, one stands out because it is just so chillingly convincing. And that's Dreams from My Real Father by Joel Gilbert, available at INFOWARS.com. This film exposes the fraud that Obama is like nothing I've seen. If you want to know who Obama's real daddy is, this is the film for you. Don't forget, your purchase supports our broadcast and our growing media network. You'll also find at InfoWarsShop.com None Dare Call a Conspiracy by Gary Allen, the book that woke me up. We're also carrying Behind the Green Mask, UN Agenda 21 by Rosa Corey. This book is coffin nails to the globalist takeover. The Greater Good, the most professional and up-to-date film I've ever seen exposing the scourge that is vaccines. These titles and a lot more are all available at InfoWarsShop.com. Sick of the globalist eugenicist control freaks adding poison to your water and laughing as you get sick and die? Start purifying your water with ProPure. My friends, I've done a lot of research, and the best gravity filter out there, bar none, is ProPure, and it's available discounted at InfoWars.com. Its filters are silver impregnated to prevent bacterial growth. There's no priming required. It's NSF 42 certified. Optional fluoride filters can reduce fluoride up to 95%. Easy to set up and use. Doesn't require
require electricity. Purify water from lakes, streams, ponds, and wells. This filter system leaves in beneficial minerals, which is key. Save money by not buying bottled water and avoid BPA that leaches from the plastic. ProPure is the best gravity-fed filter out there. It's what my family uses. INFOWARS.com already has the lowest price on ProPure. But if you add the promo code WATER at checkout, you get an additional 10% off at INFOWARS.com. You can also call to order 888-253-3139. This is Alex Jones with 5 good reasons you should consider buying a solar power generator. Number 1, new climate legislation could easily double or triple your electric bill. Number 2, our new energy czar wants to control how much power your electric company allows you to have. It's true. Total government control of electricity in the name of smart grid technology is coming. Number 3, in some areas of the country, the power grid is dangerously overloaded. And now new socialist legislation is only compounding the problem. Number 4, dangerous weather is always a threat to local grids. Every year, thousands of families lose their power from weather-related outages. Number 5, a solar power generator provides powerful backup insurance and peace of mind. Folks, I really believe in the solar power generators offered by Solutions from Science, one of my oldest sponsors. You can get more information at www.mysolarbackup.com. That's mysolarbackup.com. Remember, the government doesn't own the sun, so go to mysolarbackup.com or call 1-877-327-0365.
Live from Austin, Texas, broadcasting worldwide, it's Alex Jones.
Ladies and gentlemen, you'll hear people on this show who you could call extreme right-wing, left-wing, libertarian, anarchist, Muslim, Christian, Jewish, Catholic, and people always try to pigeonhole us and say, oh, you know, he had this guy on or he had that guy on. And again, I'm not apologizing for anybody I have on the show. I have people on here who I respect for their courage, even if I don't agree with all their political views. And I have people on here who are experts in their areas because I want to learn and I want to ask questions, and I know you want that information as well. That's why we'll have somebody on who is for a gold standard, like Ron Paul. Then we'll have somebody on who's for state banks or somebody who's for federally controlled fiat currency with 0% interest, which if you're going to have a government model, that's the way to do it, boy. I mean, you're going to have racing economies if you do that. That's what we had in this country for over 100 years. There are a lot of different systems. And so it's not schizophrenic that I'm, or it's not contradictory that we jump around, because I'm trying to figure it all out. Now, on the subject of COINTELPRO, I live in one of the few states where the state got caught doing it in congressional stuff, and it got suspended, what, in 1979, 1980. And I've been on the receiving end of the State Police Intelligence Bureau. They never tried to set me up for anything criminal, but I don't like being surveilled by them. The feds, it's different. I mean, I just tried to cover the Army one time. Mike Hansen was there. They were doing this takeover drill in Brooksville, Florida. And, I mean, the neighbors were coming out of their houses going, you're Alex Jones. The Army came by and said, don't talk to you. And I'd never run into something like this. I was just covering, you know, these gun confiscation drills. And they tried to set us up. They broke in our hotel room. They had a guy jump out and start setting fires. I mean, I'm just by the municipal airport, standing there, and a guy jumps out and starts lighting fires, saying I'm doing it. And I had to go physically jump on him, and Mike's trying to put the fire out and everything. And then the military pulls up on dune buggies. And, I mean, it was just insane, ladies and gentlemen. And if they do that, I mean, again, I'm not bashing our military. I found most people in the military are actually more awake than the public. The average cop isn't a bad person. But I'm telling you, this system, take the stuff just happened in California 2 days ago. I haven't even shown that footage on the radio or /TV yet. Well, we showed it on the nightly news last night, some of it. But, I mean, it's so crazy. You watch them shooting babies in strollers with rubber bullets at 10 feet away. That can kill them. And shooting women with babies in their arms because they're protesting a cop shooting an unarmed man. Again, look, the system's gearing up for revolution because the system knows it's doing things that are going to cause it. I don't want blood in the streets. I've had enough violence in my life just growing up in Dallas, Texas. I don't mean to be ranting. I want to go back to our guest. It's that I really am concerned, folks. Every time I look at my children, I feel like crying now. But it's not a physical crying. It's a soreness in my heart. It's a pain that I want everybody to live good. I want everybody to get along. I want to quote Rodney King, literally, can't we all just, but there are special interests that don't want that, and they want us, just like Bob Marley said, fussing and fighting. They want us killing one another. And that's what this is about. And, you know, groups are all programmed against each other. So it's real when people don't like you because of what color or religion you are. It's real of those gay folks that got beat up in D.C. I mean, you know, that's wrong to do. It's real when somebody comes after you and attacks you. But then you cannot sit there and play into the plan of then hating everybody who looks different than you or comes from somewhere different, because now you're playing into the divide and conquer trap. Now, I'm ranting. I don't want to divert you, Larry Pinckney, now that I went off of that 3-minute rant. I want to give you the floor for this segment. You've got the floor. The next 14 minutes you're hosting. Describe to people what COINTELPRO is, the congressional hearings, and what you and others went through, the setups, so people know what we're facing.
All right. COINTELPRO, the counterintelligence program, spelled COINTELPRO, an acronym, COINTELPRO. COINTELPRO was, and I say still is, very much so, even though it's been codified in the Patriot Act and the NDAA, was a program that was meant to neutralize. And by the way, the word neutralize comes directly not only out of my FBI file, but out of the files, many thousands of other files, COINTELPRO files, to neutralize thinking, conscious, everyday black, white, brown, red, and yellow people who wanted to bring about justice and fairness for everyone in the system. COINTELPRO, the counterintelligence program, the government program, fed the feds. Now, certain components or segments, if you will, of the police in various states throughout the Union were also involved, but the coordinator was federal and continues to be federal, no matter what name they give it. And it's a program where, and some of the examples, Alex, that you gave are so, I mean, they're just right. It's sad. It's sad when you look at it. People say, oh, this is America. That can't happen. Excuse me, this is America, and it is happening. It has happened. And if we don't do something about it, folks, it's going to continue to happen. All they have to do is keep us divided, keep us mute, keep us ignorant, keep us, you know, on the dole, as it were. We have to take the grip in our own hands. This is what we have to do. And I don't give a damn about our color or our gender, but I do give a damn about our humanity, because we are human. So getting all of us, we are human. And I guess, Alex, like you, I tend to get on a little rant every now and then. Sorry about that.
No, break down what happened to you. This is important historical information.
But what happened to me was the FBI had attempted to set me up in many, many ways. So they decided that they would, and you can read this in the book that I've already mentioned, Saying No to Power, and we obtained this information under the Freedom of Information Act. Okay, the FBI said, well, Pinckney is dangerous because of his ability, and I quote, to unify black and white. That's why it was dangerous, so the FBI said. And he must be, quote, neutralized, in quotation marks, neutralized. They said, we don't know what his habits are, but we're going to utilize, quote, sex and drugs. We don't know what his habits are. Doesn't matter. We're going to neutralize him. Can you imagine the horrible, the pain, the outrageous action that this government indulges in to this very day, engages in to stop people? And that includes, by the way, Alex, people like you. You know, and I want to say this at this point. Alex, you and people like you and your show, you all, you and like the Power Hour with Joyce Riley, like the Jack Blood show with Jack Blood, you all and many others, really, are the Paul Reveres and the Crispus Attucks of the 21st century. And that's what we need. We need more Paul Reveres, more Crispus Attucks to wake the sleeping flock up so that we can change this situation. Back to COINTELPRO. The bottom line is that there is nothing, and I repeat, folks, nothing that this government will not do to, quote, neutralize you. However, we have something that this government will never have. We have, as we used to say in the party, the power of the people. And that's why this government engages in everything that it can to divide and conquer, rule and conquer, keep people in fear of each other, keep people suspicious of each other. You know, and I'm not saying, Alex, I'm not saying that when I say collective struggle, I'm not saying we're going to be in 100% agreement. Anybody who's in 100% agreement with me or anyone else is a damn liar. We don't want liars. It's okay to disagree. But when we disagree, as Brother Malcolm X used to say, let's do it in the closet and come out as a united front. The people, black, white, brown, red, and yellow.
By the way, I noticed that Malcolm X got all this attention. Everything was okay with the system as long as he was, you know, blacks, you know, over here. But as soon as he said everybody needs to get together, that's when they killed him.
You got it, Alex. You just hit it right on the head, my brother. That's the bottom line. As soon as Malcolm evolved, the instant Malcolm evolved and realized that this was a people struggle of all colors and both genders, Malcolm became dangerous. Suddenly, Malcolm had to be neutralized. 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 You can be killed, you can be imprisoned and killed, but you are stopped. And that you hit it right on the head. What more can I say to that, Alex? What more can I say? You said it.
Okay, let's go over what they did to you and others, specifically how COINTELPRO works.
Okay. COINTELPRO works in a way, it's very insidious. Your friends, or who you think are your friends, even whether they might be relatives, they might just be close personal friends. They use people as agents and agent provocateurs to set you up. Let's say you make a statement. Let's say you disagree with Barack Obama, as an example. You disagree with his policy, his NDAA policy. You disagree with his kill list. Well, the actions of COINTELPRO would turn that around and turn it against you. Next thing you know, you've got people saying, he said that he wants to dispense with Obama because of blah, blah, blah. Kill list or NDAA.
That's what they always do when Nightline is here or anybody. They say, you're wanting violence. I'm like, when did I talk about violence? They go, you're going to cause it. You're going to cause it. You're going to, and I'm like, wait, I'm against drones, killing innocent people and secret arrests and checkpoints. So I'm the one that's going to cause violence?
So who's violent? Who's violent? I would submit to you, my brother, that violence is poverty. I would not only physical poverty, but poverty of the mind. I would submit to you that violence is homelessness. I would submit to you that violence is joblessness, underemployment, foreclosure. Violence is on many levels.
It's violent to give $40 trillion to offshore banks.
That's right. That's right. That's violence. So let's get our priorities in order. Let's talk about, as Dr. Martin Luther King said, who the real purveyors of violence are. It's not we the people. It's those who try to control and corral us, we the people.
I agree, but get into all the stuff they did with killing. I mean, they got people to kill other people. They set people up. Tell folks what they did.
In the party, specifically, speaking as a veteran of the Black Panther Party, what they would do is they would get agents. First of all, they just find somebody black, pay them a little money. Okay, you can have, we're going to pay you this. We're going to put you up in a fine pad, crib, house, whatever you want to call it. All right? All we want you to do for us is go in there, join that Black Panther Party, and this is your job. Your job is to cause as much dissension as you possibly can between the brothers and sisters in that party. Get them to kill each other. And then when they start killing each other, you come out, you step forward as a witness But of course, you never indicate that your role was to be an agent provocateur to bring about this killing, to bring about these horrible, horrible atrocities. This is just one example, but they did it to the party throughout the United States. In fact, I was just reading a COINTELPRO document, Alex, just a few days ago about what they did in Minnesota as an example. And this, I'm talking primarily about California and New York, but it happened all over the country. And in Minnesota, I read this FBI COINTELPRO document. You know what they did, my brother, was they sent paid provocateurs to attack people. Okay, this is late 60s, early 70s, to physically attack and injure and harm people. But don't kill them, just hurt them very badly, and then walk away and say, and you tell everybody, I'm a Black Panther. Okay? Now, so
that's the modern thing. Get the guys out front the place saying you can't vote. Then you can put it on the news. It's a false flag. Right. Set up. Have people do bad things in your name. Oldest trick in the book.
And the reason that it's the oldest trick in the book, and you're absolutely correct, my brother, the reason it's the oldest trick in the book is because it has consistently worked. And it has consistently worked because we've got too many sheeple, not people, too many sheeple out there who are stuck as potato, whatever you call them, sitting on the couch. What's the term, Alex? Couch potatoes.
Yes.
Couch potatoes who don't understand that couch is about to be pulled out from under their posterior, and that they are about to find themselves in a situation where they have no constitutional or human rights. So yes, I go back to what you said, because all I can do, and all I am doing, Alex, is I'm trying to put a little meat on the bones. But you've already got the bones. You've been putting the bones out there for years, my brother.
Well, do you see this starting to come to a head? Because, I mean, more and more, everything we saw them use in the 60s, 70s, and 80s is back, and it's across the board, demonizing anybody that doesn't like this globalist takeover.
It's worse now. And why is it worse? Because what they do, they went out and got this quote, colored guy, and people are talking hope and change, right? When it really wasn't hope and change. It was mental dope and a rope for everybody, okay? And what they did was they said, oh, yeah, they'll go for that. Yeah, they'll go for that. Yeah, sure. We'll get the blacks to go for them, because blacks say, oh, we finally got it, black president. Oh, ain't that great? You know? The whites will go for him, go, I'm sure I'm not racist. I'm going to vote for this guy. See, I'm not racist. Okay? Instead of people all standing up and saying, wait a damn minute here. Wait a minute. Who is this guy? What is he about? Who is he really? What are his policies? We don't care about your hope and change. We're not interested in rhetoric. We're interested in action. And as Wayne Madsen, I think you had him on earlier.
Yes.
I've used some of Wayne's work at blackcommentator.com and intrepidreport.com, where he talks about Obama's CIA background, and particularly that of his parents, but not just his parents, Obama himself, who worked for, by the way, BIC. Okay.
And the grandparents, and then you've got all the weird, exactly, I was bringing that up with the guy earlier who just gets into the communist stuff. More and more, I think that's just the cover. Really, yes. This is deep CIA.
Yes, we're talking deep cover here. It's a cover, all right, but it is deep cover. And it is time for people to do like they said in that movie, pay attention to the man behind the curtain. Pay attention to what is affecting all of us.
Wow, it's great to talk to somebody so conscious and awake. And again, it's just normal for those of us that are awake. But I look at the general public, they're in trances.
Yeah,
I want to talk about that when we get back, because I talk to adults, men who are like children, and they just have no idea what's going on. We'll be right back.
Okay.
This is Alex Jones with 5 good reasons you should consider buying a solar power generator. Number 1, new climate legislation could easily double or triple your electric bill. Number 2, our new energy czar wants to control how much power your electric company allows you to have. It's true. Total government control of electricity in the name of smart grid technology is coming. Number 3, in some areas of the country, the power grid is dangerously overloaded. And now, new socialist legislation is only compounding the problem. Number 4, dangerous weather is always a threat to local grids. Every year, thousands of families lose their power from weather-related outages. Number 5, a solar power generator provides powerful backup insurance and peace of mind. Folks, I really believe in the solar power generators offered by Solutions from Science, one of my oldest sponsors. You can get more information at www.mysolarbackup.com. That's mysolarbackup.com. Remember, the government doesn't own the sun, so go to mysolarbackup.com or call 1-877-327-0365.
BePrepared.com heats up July with the hottest sale on the web. Going on now. Save 28% on freeze-dried raspberries or save on our 3-day light emergency kit, a $50 value. This month, just $30.99. Plus, all 1-year supplies are on sale at BePrepared.com. This month, save over $350 on our traditional 2,000-year supply of food. Now, just $12.99.99. And get a hand-grained mill free. Or choose our most popular year supply, the Premium 2000. It gives you 2,000 calories per day from a variety of nutritious meals for 1 whole year. Save over $700 plus get a free Catadyne Hiker water filter, a $75 value. More details and more hot July savings at BePrepared.com now through July 31st. Call 800-999-1863 to experience exceptional customer service and BePrepared.com's low price guarantee. That's 800-999-1863. The choice is clear. Be unprepared or BePrepared.com.
Our top story, 47-year-old patriot discovers weird trick to slash power bill and beat Obama's electricity monopoly for good. If you're fed up with being dependent on fat cat power monopolies that raise rates again and again, if you're sick of high energy bills and sick of high heating bills, so are we. Join us at coverup123.com. See the free video produced by patriots like you that exposes the truth and shows you the secret to how you can easily slash your power bill. See our video now before it gets shut down at coverup123.com. At the 2-minute mark of our video, you'll see exactly how deep the conspiracy goes. It's a lot deeper than you think. Go to coverup123.com and see the trick revealed in our video that could slash your power bill and beat Obama's electricity monopoly for good. Hurry! Go now to coverup123.com. That's coverup123.com. Coverup123.com. Sponsored by Power for Patriots.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's our final segment in this hour. We've definitely got to get him back up in the near future. By the way, the crazy Ronald McDonald killer, who his mother said she didn't say he did it, the guy they're claiming did it, who can't talk and is obviously so drugged up, I mean, who knows what really happened? Now it turns out he got a $26,000 grant from the Institutes of Health and was involved with the Pentagon and stuff. That's CBS News. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Operation Northwood saying they would shoot people in the U.S. and then blame it on foreign enemies, and even how to frame patsies. We're talking to Larry Pinckney of the original Black Panther Party about COINTELPRO that came out in congressional testimony, and his work and others helped get it cut back for a few decades, but it's back. Knowing what I know and about official, different official stories and how it works and the way they put things out, I mean, I can't put anything past the system running false flags or staged events. And this whole shooting out in Colorado, I think, stinks to high heaven.
Come on, Alex. Look, first of all, let's look at the hypocrisy of it. All right, the horrible tragedy in Aurora, Colorado. That was a horrible tragedy, okay? But who did this nation find itself turning to for condolences and comfort? Why, none other than the kill list, Predator drone missile, NDAA signing Barack Obama. Excuse me, but something is rotten in Denmark, and it stinks to high heaven. And I mean, come on. All we have to do is just use our, oh my God, just use our common sense.
Well, that's the exact point I made, is that they'll kill over 200 people at a wedding to get one person they claim is a terrorist, violating the Geneva Convention and international and our own law, and then say, oh, that's just collateral damage. We killed a whole bunch of kids and women, and we blew a bunch of them got their arms and legs blown off and are wounded for life. Big deal. But then, oh, half-mast and all this. I mean, it's so obvious what they're doing.
Yes, yes. Not only obvious, my friend, my brother, but it is despicable. It is time for the people of this nation of all colors to wake the hell up. It is time for us to understand that we're being pimped. The pain of the people, of everyday, ordinary people, is being pimped to high heaven. And only we, the people, can change that. And we got to put aside our differences. Of course, we're going to have differences. We need to put them aside, okay, in favor of our common interests. We deal with those differences, but right now, we better damn well deal with our survival.
Well said. We're going to have you back up soon, as we're basically out of time here, to talk about some of the other things that happened. I mean, get out the congressional admissions of all the horrible things COINTELPRO did. But I remember interviewing Ted Gunderson, and he apologized for it, but he admitted they would just call up Black Panther Party members' wives and have women call up and say that they were cheating on them and stuff. Just, stuff like that. But that's nothing compared to planting drugs on people. I know that went on, too.
Yes, all the time. And Alex, the fact of the matter is, it's very painful for me. I try to get this information across. I don't want people to be in fear. I want people to get mad. As Malcolm said, sad people don't do nothing. But angry people, they do something.
Oh, I agree with you. People always think I'm putting this out to scare them. No, I want people to hear the truth and shame those that are doing wrong, so we stand up and say no. Is there a website we can visit, Mr. Pinckney?
Yes, sir. BlackActivistWritersGuild.org. www.blackactivistwritersguild. Please come and visit.
All right.
My brother, thank you, Alex.
Thank you for joining us. Thank you.
Thank you for listening to GCN. Visit GCNlive.com today.
If you want an American company with American products made by Americans, here is the Cal Ben Soap Company. Alex and his staff have used these pure soap products for years. These all-natural soaps are made from the highest quality vegetable and coconut oils that are earth-friendly and safe. See them on the web at 5starsoap.com or call 800-340-7091 for a free catalog. Buy the 1 to 2 month sample package and enjoy soaps that are twice as good as what you're using now. Or save big with a 1 to 2 year supply of soaps for all your cleaning needs. This is an amazing deal. You can save thousands of dollars and you will love the way real soap makes you feel. See them on the web at 5starsoap.com or call 800-340-7091 for a free catalog.
Great Talk Radio starts here.
Big Brother, mainstream media, government cover-ups. You want answers? Well, so does he. He's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. And now, live from Austin, Texas, Alex Jones.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is Tuesday, the 24th day of July 2012. There is massive, obvious military news around the world, economic news. They're moving towards QE3. The Federal Reserve is. All of this is huge, very important information we're going to be breaking down. Also, new phone hacking charges rock London. Suddenly, Rupert Murdoch is endorsing gun control. George Soros, basically everything that he's always loved, but now he's fully turning over to them as the fact that the criminal attorney general and the Fast and Furious crime syndicate can arrest the head of News Corp basically whenever they want. So understand there is major blackmail going on there, and it looks like News Corp is completely rolled over into Obamanoid worship session as the blackmail game accelerates. We're going to be breaking all of this down. Syria confirms chemical weapons reserved for attack from abroad, which is exactly what our so-called government has for attacks from abroad. Israel steps up its rhetoric. That's just some of the news up at drudgereport.com. At INFOWARS.com, we have a lot of the same news, but also a lot of in-depth analysis of globalist crime syndicate operations. Yesterday, the Associated Press had an article about Marines shifting to police work because it's about being an occupying army, not just going in and knocking a government out, but putting in the new globalist military. I mean, it's always been about that since the days of Smedley Butler. But there is an article that details this out by Steve Watson at INFOWARS.com, and it gets into concerns about Marines. And it's a good article. It's just that Marines have already had DWI checkpoints all over the country, totally illegal. They've responded to shootings all over the country. The Secretary of Defense, Secretary of the Army have all said they're going to put troops in every U.S. city. They're just announcing this to sell you on the idea that it's for overseas because it is dual use. But why are they getting ready for martial law? Well, they say it's for collapse, but I thought we were out of the recession 3.5 years ago. I mean, they don't lie to us. These are good people running our country. So we're going to be going over all that. And the public is really noticing that Mr. Holmes, the supposed shooter, I mean, all over the news, they just say, it's him, he did it. He can't talk, though. He's obviously drugged out of his mind on psychotropics and other antipsychotics, but no one's saying he's drugged. It's just, here's a guy that can't talk, and he did it. And by the way, his mother and father have come out. This is an ABC News. Alleged Colorado gunman's family stands by son, and she says, I didn't say you've got your man in the shooting, as the police put out. They haven't been talking to us. They haven't been asking for our help talking to him. All they did was call up and say, is your son James Holmes? And she said, yeah, that's him. They said, guy with red hair, James Holmes, lives here at this. Yeah, you've got your man. That's him. Why? What's going on? She said she didn't know that he'd been accused of these shootings. But see, they sold it like, Mommy said so. Well, let me tell you, ma'am, we've got, as people have noticed, so we open the phones up, we can load the phones from just in Aurora. And so I want to give people a chance from Aurora when we come back in this next couple segments ahead of 3 big guests today and a ton of news we're going to be peppering throughout. I want to go to people in Aurora or Littleton in that area. See how this whole thing's mischaracterized? Just like when Breitbart died within an hour and 49 minutes. I timed it. From the times the articles were time-stamped. They said he died of natural causes, go to sleep, no big deal. Coroner says he died of natural causes. The coroner hadn't even been called into the next day. See, I mean, again, the evidence of it being a black op is the fact that everything's so scripted day one. We'll be right back. Let me ask you a question. What does freedom mean to you? The freedom to choose, the freedom to vote, the freedom to worship. How about the freedom to take control of your own future? My friends at eFoods Direct are celebrating freedom this month while helping you take control of your greatest dependency, food. Right now, you receive one of their new Patriot Packs free with every $289 you spend on their highly nutritious and great-tasting food. The Patriot Pack is a 30-day supply of eFoods quick fix, easy-to-store food. For example, purchase a 1-year supply and get 5 Patriot Packs, which is 5 months of food free. Use the extra food for everyday use and save hundreds off your grocery bill. Give your free Patriot Pack as a gift to a friend or relative, or simply add more food to your long-term supply for free. Call 800-409-5633 or go to efoodsdirect.com/Alex and get your free Patriot Pack with purchase. Operators are standing by. Call 800-409-5633 or efoodsdirect.com/Alex. eFoods is so affordable. The more you store and eat, the more you save. Go to efoodsdirect.com/Alex or call 800-409-5633 right now.
If you want an American company with American products made by Americans, here is the Cal Ben Soap Company. Alex and his staff have used these pure soap products for years. These all-natural soaps are made from the highest quality vegetable and coconut oils that are earth-friendly and safe. See them on the web at 5starsoap.com or call 800-340-7091 for a free catalog. Buy the 1 to 2 month sample package and enjoy soaps that are twice as good as what you're using now. Or save big with a 1 to 2 year supply of soaps for all your cleaning needs. This is an amazing deal. You can save thousands of dollars and you will love the way real soap makes you feel. See them on the web at 5starsoap.com or call 800-340-7091 for a free catalog.
Sick of the globalist eugenicist control freaks adding poison to your water and laughing as you get sick and die? Start purifying your water with ProPure. My friends, I've done a lot of research, and the best gravity filter out there, bar none, is ProPure, and it's available discounted at INFOWARS.com. Its filters are silver impregnated to prevent bacterial growth. There's no priming required. It's NSF 42 certified. Optional fluoride filters can reduce fluoride up to 95%. Easy to set up and use. Doesn't require electricity. Purify water from lakes, streams, ponds, and wells. This filter system leaves in beneficial minerals, which is key. Save money by not buying bottled water and avoid BPA that leaches from the plastic. ProPure is the best gravity-fed filter out there. It's what my family uses. INFOWARS.com already has the lowest price on ProPure. But if you add the promo code WATER at checkout, you get an additional 10% off at INFOWARS.com. You can also call to order 888-253-3139.
Big Brother, mainstream media, government cover-ups. You want answers? Well, so does he. He's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. And now, live from Austin, Texas, Alex Jones.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live and transmitting worldwide. We have a jam-packed transmission lined up for you today. Wayne Madsen, I don't know his take, his intel on the mass shooting yet, but he formerly worked with the NSA. He's been a Capitol Hill reporter for decades, or about 15 years since he got out of the NSA. He's broken so much news here and talked to his sources, federal informants and others, breaking down the fact that Judge Roll and Congresswoman Giffords were shot to basically cover up an investigation they were involved in of Fast and Furious. Wayne Madsen will be joining us in about T-minus 25 minutes. Joel Gilbert, we're going to open the phones up for him. This will be his second radio visit with us. He's been on the Nightly News. The maker of Dreams of My Real Father. Today is the official release date of that film. You notice we've been promoting it the last month. We have it in stock at InfoWarsShop.com. But the point is, he is going to be joining us coming up. And then Larry Pinckney, video Skype. I have heard him on the radio before. He is a veteran of the real Black Panther Party, not the federally created ones. The former Minister of Interior of the Republic of New Africa, a former political prisoner, and the only American to have successfully self-authored his civil political rights case to the United States, United Nations, under the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights. He's going to talk about COINTELPRO and how they basically destroyed the real Black Panther Party, regardless of whether you support their political views or not. They were not violent at first. They were infiltrated and radicalized by the government and the. I mean, I've had former FBI agents, high-level ones, the head of the Southern District of California, one of the most important FBI positions in the country, Ted Gunderson, admitted himself to COINTELPROing people. But he'd do stuff like, have women call up their wives and act like they were, calling up and that dating was going on. Kind of stuff that's happened to my wife many times. And he said that's tame compared to what goes on nowadays. Rest his soul. Of course, he died. Was it earlier in the year or was it late last year? So that's coming up. Wayne Madsen, director Joel Gilbert from the film Dreams of My Real Father, and Larry Pinckney. I'm very excited about those three interviews today. And we'll have open phones, I promise, during Joel Gilbert and for the second half of Larry Pinckney today. Obviously got a lot of video clips, a lot of audio clips, big events with Rupert Murdoch and resigning from his papers. in England, his control of those. He is being blackmailed by the organized crime syndicate. I mean, you're seeing him endorse gun control now. You're seeing all these neocons. In fact, I had my stack in here from a newscast I shot last night. And I have the stack that was left in here, not the big stack from the radio yesterday that was already out of here, but the other big stack. It was a bunch of neocons on Fox News are saying, no, we should restrict guns. We should ban semi-auto. We should, it was a bunch of shows. Aaron printed me a whole stack of suddenly they're on Fox News going, ban semi-auto, ban them. You shouldn't be able to own them. It's only for hunting. You should only be able to have bolt action. Now, there is the stack. I'm going to find this, folks. There's just so much. I mean, that's a whole article right there of just the fact that they clearly are blackmailing News Corp. And I've been saying this for about a year. I mean, they're arresting the heads of News Corp in England. I mean, a lot of them are still in jail. There's more arrests today. Look, I'm not saying News Corp is good. But they're not MSNBC, who openly meets with George Soros and Media Matters, and their memos have gone public, and Politico's defended them, saying we're going to infiltrate news organizations and destroy them and sabotage them from within. I mean, that's racketeering. And they're tax exempt. Can you imagine if I tried to be tax exempt and just stand up for liberty when we really are nonpartisan and just stand up for what's right? But I've got to tell you, I mean, I don't agree with a lot of what Rush Limbaugh does. They've been trying to destroy him this year. They're trying to destroy News Corp right now. News Corp has just rolled over, belly up to this. Because the system sees it as a threat, because it at least posed as patriot to get that giant audience, because that is the most popular idea out there, is basic liberty. And so Fox News tries to pose as anti-New World Order enough to get that audience. I mean, look at INFOWARS.com. We've come from nowhere in the last 17 years. Just, it looks like nowhere, but incrementally building up to the point now where we're the biggest thing in alternative media, period, bar none. And that's not bragging, by the way. That freaks me out quite a lot, because it's an incredible responsibility. And White House groups like Think Progress, run by the White House publicly, are calling for us to be shut down. They're calling for Drudge to be destroyed, basically. And it's very creepy. So pray for us, folks. This is not a joke. This is not a game. My spidey sense has been really tingling. They're getting ready to launch new wars, obviously, not just proxy wars against Syria and Libya, but Iran. All Hades is getting ready to break loose. They're telling police nationwide, get ready for total disaster and martial law in October. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but that is going on. Israel's saying they're going to attack Iran because Iran's planning to attack the Olympics. Does anyone really buy that? And again, I'm not for Iran either. It's just that Israel's lying, ladies and gentlemen. Israel's been caught staging terror attacks before. Jerusalem Post, Haaretz, Ynet News. It's not. They're doing it. And all these governments do it. They want wars so they can stay in office and get no-bid contracts and take people's rights during a giant war. Because let me tell you, they start a war with Iran and the Russians get involved, everybody's going to line up and do what they're told. And they got the checkpoints ready, the Marines, the Army, all of it. All right, I'm going to shut up right there. I want to take calls for the rest of this segment and the next. If you're in Littleton or Aurora, Colorado, and you want to call, or if you know the mother of the Ronald McDonald shooter, who's obviously drugged out of his mind, who they've already convicted, we need to get a hold of the mother, because she's coming out saying, the cops called me up and said, does your son have red hair? And is he this person? Is this his name? And she goes, yeah, you've got your man. That's my son. And then they went with that and said that she said that he did it. She said, no, they hung the phone up. Folks, this is all a setup. Hey, is this your son? You got red hair? Yeah, that's him. That's him. You got the right guy. Thank you. Click. She's calling him for days. Hey, I didn't say that. Hey, I want to meet with him. Hey, he looks like he's drugged up. Hey, what's going on here? We're going to stand by him. Something's going on here. That tells you right there, if it's a black op, the parents aren't involved. In these other cases where they're involved in high-level government operations, beyond national security, above top secret, shadow government, COG, Harris and Kleinbold's parents. And again, he comes out of an advanced brain interface. This program, and you can pull this up, Department of Defense wants to wipe bad memories. In fact, we've done the research. Aaron covered it some last night. We've got to do whole articles on this. This is just too much. This is exactly, I said I'd go to your calls, and I'm not right now. 800-259-9231, 1-800-259-9231, 800-259-9231 is the toll-free number to join us. This whole thing, and then all the witnesses saying multiple shooters, smoke bombs from different angles, people letting him in, and now they've got the classic videos that look like actors. They're like, I have my ticket. I was there. It was terrible. By the way, there's only one shooter. Be sure to know that. One shooter, I mean, oh, yes, Building 7 fell on its own from the fires, of course, and so the other towers, pancaking, and then it cuts to the same guys in ball caps all perfectly saying it within minutes of it happening. I mean, this is all staged, ladies and gentlemen. You know, the passport being found and another one being found, all magical. I mean, it just goes on and on. These are staged events to set up the police state to then be pointed at the American people. So I want to hear from you if you're in the Denver area or if you have family that were witnesses to something. A nice lady sent us some photos and stuff that Kurt's going to get up in the next 30 minutes or so at INFOWARS.com that she went and took at the movie theater. If she can get back through and tell us what happened when she went to take photos. But when they come out instantly with a story, Breitbart, not even 2 hours had passed since he was taken to the hospital, and they come out and say, died of natural causes, nothing to worry about. The coroner says, go back to sleep. The coroner comes out a few days later and says, I didn't say that. We're going to do a full check. Then they've got poisons that metabolize out of the body. Again, that on top of about 100 other things, we have to look at Breitbart as a possible murder. I mean, that's crazy. He says, I'm coming out in the morning with something that will destroy Obama, and then alludes to Obama at communist meetings. And then, as I predicted, I said in a few weeks, because there's threats going on, they're going to release, if they release some milquetoast nothing, oh, look, here's one of his professors at a meeting calling for socialism or whatever. Wow, that's really bombshell. And here is a deer in the woods. Here is a bear doing what they do in the woods. I mean, here is a bird flying in the air. I mean, this was nothing. So he's going to bring out this bombshell. He goes to a restaurant, hangs out with a bunch of people, drops dead, and then we're told, nothing to worry about, go back to sleep. And we're told immediately, don't ask questions or you're crazy. Oh, no, we just have known liars running things who've been caught assassinating people, who say they've got hit teams, saying the president will order secretly murdered whoever they want. They're admitting they spy on everybody without warrants now. I personally get death threats over the years where they want you to know, by the way, I just saw you let your dog out in the back. I'm going to cut your head off. Yeah, that little dog with the blue collar. I am going to cut your head off. Do you understand me? Oh, you got family in the hospital. Hope that, this is the type of stuff, folks. So they're listening to the phones. They've got armies of hardcore criminals that have been put in positions that are mercenaries who like hurting people, who like taking over. It's called tyranny. Tyranny. And we've been sold it's sexy, it's cool, it's fun. Yeah, if you want your wages cut, your bank accounts drained, taxes and fines and fees put on everything, and society collapsing with forced inoculations and chemtrails, then you're going to love the New World Order. Call's coming up. Alex Jones here with a message to fellow freedom lovers. The prognosis for the entire planetary economic system runs from bad to worse. The globalist model is to shut down societies and starve patriots out until they acquiesce to the global takeover. That's why we've assembled the most vital and important preparedness items at InfoWarsShop.com. These are items that I did research on, that I personally use. You've got the Life Straw, so you can turn fetid water into safe water anywhere you go. The K-Tor hand crank generator to charge up key equipment during power outages or out in the field. Strategic Relocation, 3rd edition by Joel Skousen. When Disaster Strikes by Matthew Stein. ThyroSafe, used by Homeland Security to protect yourself during any radiological event. Hand crank shortwave AM/FM radios. Everything that we've researched and found to be the best is available at InfoWarsShop.com, and your purchase makes our InfoWar possible. We're getting prepared. Are you? InfoWarsShop.com.
We all know that Berkey water purification systems are the most trusted name in water filtration. As an authorized Berkey dealer for over 6 years and serving thousands of satisfied customers, the Berkey Guy offers amazing specials for Berkey water filtration systems. The Berkey Light systems include a set of self-sterilizing and recleanable black purification elements that purify water by removing chlorine, pathogenic bacteria, cysts, and parasites to non-detectable levels and remove harmful chemicals such as herbicides and pesticides. Order the Berkey Light system today, complete with 2 black Berkey elements for only $231, and the Berkey Guy will ship your order free of charge. With the purchase of a Berkey Light, the Berkey Guy is also offering a set of fluoride and arsenic filters for only $39.99. That's over 30% off the retail price. Call the Berkey Guy at 1-877-886-3653. That's 1-877-886-3653. Or order online at goberkey.com. That's goberkey.com today.
HempUSA.org brings you pure camu-berry powder. This revolutionary powder contains 50 times the vitamin C of an orange, mixes with any juice or liquid, has 227 servings per container, and is made from naturally grown camu berries, not chemically produced in a laboratory. Order camu-berry powder today. Call 908-691-2608 or visit HempUSA.org and see what our powder, seeds, and oil can do for you.
Hi, this is Ted Anderson. Have you ever wondered why banks, stockbrokers, investment advisors won't talk about gold IRAs? They've been available since 1986, yet the financial industry won't recognize the value of gold for your retirement. Gold has outperformed paper investments, yet no word about IRAs. If you would like to have gold for your retirement, call 800-686-2237. Don't get left behind by rising inflation and low returns. Call 800-686-2237. Secure your future and call 1-800-686-2237.
American gardeners and fellow patriots, make the right choice with your money, time, and your family food supply. Choose 100% pure heirloom seeds in the Survival Seed Vault from MyPatriotSupply.com. Why spend more? The Survival Seed Vault from MyPatriotSupply.com is only $37.95 and includes 20 varieties of pure, hardy, easy-to-grow heirloom seeds. Yes, only $37.95. That's 70% less than our competitors. You could buy 3 Survival Seed Vaults for less than one of theirs. The Survival Seed Vault from MyPatriotSupply.com includes detailed planting and seed-saving instructions and ships same day. Plus, all orders over $49 ship free. MyPatriotSupply.com is American-owned by patriots like you, passionate about freedom and preparedness. Call now, 866-229-0927. That's 866-229-0927. Or discover more emergency preparedness items when you order at MyPatriotSupply.com. Choose the original. Choose the Survival Seed Vault at MyPatriotSupply.com.
By the way, I went with the crew last night and saw a late-night showing of Batman. I haven't had a chance to talk to the crew yet because I walked out of the movie towards the end. It was so bad. And we were there getting popcorn and stuff, and they're like, what are you going to see? Batman? Like, oh, man, awesome, incredible. Oh, you just wait. And, I mean, we are, I mean, I can go watch fantasy. I can go watch, I'm already reviewing it, aren't I? I said to go to your calls. I can enjoy Green Lantern, the Spider-Man movies, Star Wars. I mean, I can go watch fantasy stuff. It's not that I'm like, oh, this is kid stuff. It's when there's no plot developed. It's all just weird scenes of posing. The Batman fights look like it was the scene with Captain Kirk fighting the Lizard, where, I mean, it's like slow motion. It was horrible. It was a horrible movie, nothing but a mindless vehicle to deliver the idea of martial law and checkpoints, and the police are a gang that are going to riot and defeat the Occupy Wall Street people, who were AKA the Second French Revolution, and the idea that any protest is terrorism. I mean, it was just so ridiculous. And the cops are rushing up on Bane, and they're firing hundreds of machine guns at him, and like one cop gets shot, and the bullets all hit the ground and spark. It's just total. There you go. Ha ha. They are, if you're not watching this, I guess radio listeners. That's enough. Actually, that's a better fight scene than the movie. I mean, it was horrible. All right, I'm going to shut up. I said we're taking calls from Denver. Julian, Joe, Mike, we'll get to all of you here. We'll even take some of you while Wayne Madsen's on. He's coming on to give us his take on it. By the way, I keep getting questions about a couple shirts my wife got me that are recreations of mountain climbing dress shirts from the 60s. And so that's what these shirts are I'm wearing. They're not Boy Scout shirts, but I like them, and that's what I'm wearing in the summer. And I have 2 shirts with them, and that's what I'm side issue, but it's become quite a big debate whenever I wear one of these shirts. What are they? Is it a military shirt? No, it's not. It's a rock climbing shirt. Not that I'm really a rock climber, but I do like to hike. So what do they call it, an alpiner? Okay, let's go ahead and take a call. Shut up, Jones, and go to the calls. Joe in Colorado, what's your take on all this? Them saying, Mommy says he did it, basically, but she never said that. What do you think of all this?
Yeah, first, my heart goes out to the family.
Yes.
But I just think that, you know, it's blatant. The dude's not talking, you know, looking crazy in court, you know, bulletproof vest, all this stuff, doesn't shoot back at the cops. It's just, you know, I'm a veteran. So, you know, I've been awake for a minute listening to you for a while. My first time calling and getting through, but, you know, it's crazy. I just can't believe it.
Well, what about the fact now that they admit he was on a bunch of psychotropic drugs, which can naturally make you go crazy and do stuff like this, like Sergeant Bales? Why are they even charging him? He was clearly completely insane. But the issue is this guy's totally covered up. Everybody says they're multiple shooters, but within minutes, oh no, we caught him. Here he is. We're not going to give you any details. And then they call the mother up and say, yeah, has your son got red hair? Is this his name? Yeah, that's him. You got your guy. Well, why? And then they hang up the phone on her and announce she said he did it, basically. And she's coming out going, I've been telling him for days I didn't say that. She's having to do press conferences now. Why would they want to say, yeah, his mama says he's the guy that did it, when she didn't say that? I mean, boy, isn't that strong evidence right there?
And exactly, because my friend of mine, he's the one that first told me about it before I heard about it. He said, yeah, the mom, you know, actually a couple people told me that. The mom said that, you know, yeah, you got the right one, because they wanted to get everybody's first jump on it, but now anything they hear after that is crazy.
Well, again, that's the telltale sign, is when it's scripted. Listen, they also jumped the gun on scripting. On 9/11, an hour before on CNN, they go, Building 7, the 47-story building has fallen. And Aaron Brown was on it, and he lived in New York, and turned around and he went, I'm not sure if that's right, though, because it's right behind him. And then BBC on 2 channels, the exact same thing, said it's fallen in its own footprint from fires. What a beautiful collapse. And I said, BBC first said those weren't real videos, and they said, okay, they are real, but we lost the tape. And I said, I know who did it. I know who gets your feed. You got an internal Reuters feed, and years later they admitted, yes, Reuters had reported it fell perfectly, as it did, with the cover story an hour before it did. And then they tried to cover that up, just like they said Lee Harvey Oswald had been captured before he'd even been arrested and no one knew his name. They printed that all over a certain time zone, Australia, New Zealand, and some other areas. Again, it's scripted, and they get caught scripting. Anything else, sir?
Yeah, you know, I'm going to end on that. You know, it's the culture. Like I said, I was in the military. You know,
I'll tell you what, stay there. I got Wayne Madsen coming up, but he'll only talk about 5 minutes or so before we start going to calls to get his take on what witnesses say. Stay there, Joe. Then we'll go to Julian, Greg, Mike, and others, all from the Denver area, straight ahead. And we've got former NSA officer, just an incredible journalist, Wayne Madsen, joining us to give us his take.
We're on the march. The empire's on the run. Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
Hi, this is Alex Jones. Did you know that the global elite are now storing non-hybrid seeds in secret storage vaults near the Arctic Circle? Did you know that in a real meltdown, non-hybrid seeds can become more valuable than silver or gold? It's true, seeds have outperformed even gold and silver before in this country, and it's possible that could even happen again. So our friends at Solutions from Science have put together the perfect mix of non-hybrid seeds. They call it a survival seed bank, and it can produce an endless supply of nutrient-dense food for you and your family. And here's the best part. These seeds have not been genetically modified in any way, and you actually get enough seeds to plant a full-acre crisis garden. So visit them today at survivalseedbank.com. That's survivalseedbank.com, or give them a call at 877-327-0365. That's 877-327-0365. Remember, in a real crisis, non-hybrid seeds are the ultimate barter item. This is Alex Jones for survivalseedbank.com.
Alex Jones here with a very important announcement for truth seekers. We've carried a lot of amazing films and books over the years on the online video bookstore at INFOWARS.com. And out of all the titles we've carried, one stands out because it is just so chillingly convincing. And that's Dreams from My Real Father by Joel Gilbert, available at INFOWARS.com. This film exposes the fraud that Obama is like nothing I've seen. If you want to know who Obama's real daddy is, this is the film for you. Don't forget, your purchase supports our broadcast and our growing media network. You'll also find at InfoWarsShop.com None Dare Call a Conspiracy by Gary Allen, the book that woke me up. We're also carrying Behind the Green Mask, UN Agenda 21 by Rosa Corey. This book is coffin nails to the globalist takeover. The Greater Good, the most professional and up-to-date film I've ever seen exposing the scourge that is vaccines. These titles and a lot more are all available at InfoWarsShop.com.
You've heard Alex explain how the Silver Lungs generator infuses the respiratory system with your self-produced colloidal silver solutions, yet many are unaware of the entire function of the Silver Lung system and how it has been designed to deliver your silver solutions anywhere in or on the body. My name is Mario Cifaldi, and I'm the developer of the Silver Lungs generator. Not only does the Silver Lung system produce endless colloidal and ionic silver solutions, it also comes equipped with the proper applicators and devices needed to deliver your silver solutions